Hey friends, it's Amy from Mountain Sage Wellness Shop in downtown Hendersonville, North Carolina, and this is episode 6 of the Ask Amy video series, where weekly I answer your questions around holistic health. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a certified clinical aromatherapist, and I've been working with plant medicines and other natural healing modalities for nearly 30 years. My disclaimer is I'm not a doctor, so anything that I offer in the Ask Amy series are suggestions. I definitely recommend that you speak with your healthcare practitioner before bringing anything new into your health and wellness routine. This week, we're discussing sleep. Many of you have written to me expressing that you have been suffering from sleep disturbances lately with everything that's going on in the world. And I personally have been suffering right along with you. Sleep is something that we naturally do, but depending on what's going on in our lives, it can elude us. And whether we're having a hard time falling asleep or having a hard time staying asleep, sleep disturbances can really affect our quality of life and our health and well-being. So when we're talking about sleep disturbances, I'm not talking about short-term sleep disturbances where a particular event happens and, it creates a sleep disturbance for a couple of days and then we're back into our regular sleep routine. What I'm talking about is chronic. A chronic sleep disturbance happens for days and days and days, even weeks, where we aren't getting good sleep, where we're not getting that full night of rest. And it affects us during the day. We are sluggish, we can't think clearly, we have a lot of fatigue. The list goes on how a poor night of sleep affects our day-to-day activities. So what's really important when we're looking at our sleep disturbances is finding that root cause to the sleep disturbance. Sometimes it can be physical, where we have an injury or we have a headache, maybe asthma or other respiratory ailments. Right now allergies are really high. That can create a sleep disturbance. It can also be emotional. Anxiety, grief, depression can all weigh in on creating a sleep disturbance for us. So discovering the root cause of our sleep disturbance will help us resolve our sleep disturbance better. We want to focus on that root cause, get resolution there, and then that will in turn get resolution into our sleep issues. So we've talked about fear and anxiety in previous episodes, and we're not going to talk about that today. We are going to talk about how to get a good night's sleep while we're working on those other root causes. So things that we can do tonight would be, look around your room and clean up the clutter. If you have any clutter anywhere in your room, remove that from your bedroom. That will really help the flow of the energy in your bedroom and clear it out and help with your sleep. Limit your caffeine and your alcohol. So if you're someone like me who, drinks a cup of coffee past 2 p.m. and it ruins your night of sleep, then don't do that. I know some people can drink coffee all night long and sleep really well. So just watch your caffeine intake and watch your alcohol intake. Drinking too much alcohol can definitely affect your quality of sleep. Limit screen time before bed. I'm definitely a victim of this where sometimes I'm just going that, before bed is really when I can sit down and, look at social media and catch up with my friends' lives and stuff like that. And unfortunately it's, while I'm in bed, and I try not to do that. I try to limit my screen time once I'm lying down. Now, if I'm sitting up in bed and I'm reading or, hanging out with Jeff, I might look at the phone then, but once I'm lying down, I try to have the phone off at that point. I definitely notice my sleep is better when I limit that screen time right before bed. Dim your lights in the evening. So I lived off the grid for like 11 years. and we had solar, and so we never had lights on. And I was so used to that now that we've been in the city, for all of these years, I'm constantly going around turning lights off. And my family laughs at me because I joke that I can see in the dark and walk around the house, no problem. But it does help when we have that artificial sunshine and our rooms are really bright in the evening. We can't get into that natural rhythm of where our bodies are preparing for bed. So dimming the lights, turning less lamps on, whatever your room situation, if you hang out in your family room in the evening, have 1 or 2 lamps on instead of say 3 or 4. That definitely really helps. And I lived that. I got on the natural, solar rhythm of the day. I was going to bed early and waking early, not having that artificial sunshine. Eating too close to bedtime can help us have a hard time falling asleep. Our bodies are still working when we're digesting our food. So giving us some time to get our meals processed allows our bodies to stop working and be ready for bed. Another thing that you can do at nighttime is journal. So depending on what you discover is your root cause, maybe you have a journal where you write down all of your worries and let them go. Put them on the paper and let them go. Another thing you could do is journal your gratitude. So look throughout your day and write down all the wonderful things that happened. Really helps put you in perspective of how good life really is, especially if that's a struggle for you right now. So now you can journal both. You can journal your worries and journal your gratitudes. But journaling definitely helps release it if you have that monkey mind and your mind is racing before bed and you think too much and worry too much. Another thing that I like to do is have my bedroom temperature cool. Science has shown that when our bedrooms are a nice, cool, comfortable temperature, that we sleep better. So having a cool bedroom definitely helps. And these are all things that you can do tonight. You can start it tonight, and create a routine out of it. Create a ritual, a bedtime ritual, by doing some of these things. And what that does is it helps prepare your mind and your body for bed. And so when you create a whole ritual out of it, it really, it shifts everything for you. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to bed now, because it's late, or I need to, and because it creates a routine out of it and a ritual out of it, and it makes it more sacred and it makes it special. One thing that you can do is have a nice cup of herbal tea in the evening. If you're someone who pees in the middle of the night, do it maybe 2 hours before bedtime, so it's in your system, the teas are working, and you can also release the extra fluid intake that you had an hour or 2 before bedtime. If you're not really a tea drinker, look at herbal tinctures, 1 to 2 droppers and a little bit of water, and shoot that down. It's not a lot of fluid intake, and it's a great, powerful plant medicine. Really, I've been taking tinctures for 30 years, and it's a powerful plant medicine. I think I just said that, so I'm saying it again. We can use aromatics. You can run your aromatherapy diffuser in your bedroom for say 30 to 60 minutes before bed. And while you're in there getting ready for bed, you're taking in the aromas, you're helping to shift your limbic system, you're helping to calm down your nervous system. It does help. I don't recommend leaving the diffuser on when you're sleeping. I'm someone who doesn't recommend using an aromatherapy diffuser for hours and hours and hours. Number 1, it's not needed. Number 2, you can become too sensitive to particular aromatics that you're using continuously. And 3, it's unsustainable. It's not a good sustainable practice to use that much plant material. If you don't have an aromatherapy diffuser, you can make an aromatherapy inhaler or you can put a few drops on a paper towel. You've heard me say that before. You can, hold the paper towel under your nose as you're settling into bed. That'll really help shift the limbic system and your nervous system. I like to spritz my pillow and the top of my sheet. And the reason why I do the top of my sheet is because when I'm lying down in bed, the aroma is all around me. I like the Sleeping Beauty spritz that I make. But that blend came out of my private practice and working with clients who suffer from sleep disturbances. And I personally use that one before bed. I'll spritz myself a little bit, and I spritz my pillow and my sheet, like I said. What I like about the spritzer is that it's not concentrated, and the aroma will evaporate off. So you're not, there's no worry about being in it for too long or too much. And it's nice when it's on the linens, because then, like as you move, you smell it. So I definitely like doing a spritzer. So to recap, find the root cause on your sleep disturbance. Look at that, look at what's going on. Is it a physical thing? Is it an emotional thing? Start working on resolving that, and that will help resolve your sleep disturbance. There's a lot going on in the world right now, so be gentle with yourself. If you are worrying more than normal, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, that's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Being gentle with ourselves helps the process as well. So I hope you found these tips to be helpful, and may you have a wonderfully restful night of sleep tonight. If you are looking for particular products, you can go to my website at mountainsageshop.com and click on the sleep aids filter and see all of the products that we have in the shop, all of the herbal and aromatic products that help with sleep. If you have specific questions about those products, you can email me at any time at mountainsageshop@gmail.com, and I will answer your questions as best as I can. And please keep sending in your questions to the Ask Aimee. You'll find the tab on my website, mountainsageshop.com. I'm loving all the questions, and all the feedback that you all are giving me has been great too. So I hope you are healthy and happy, and I love you, and take care and sleep well. Bye now.